What if the key to manifesting everything you desire required no effort at all? Most people struggle, push, and force, only to see slow or no results. But the 1% who truly understand manifestation know a hidden truth. Effort is the illusion. Once you tap into this power, the universe moves everything into place without resistance. Zero effort manifestation. Introduction. Manifestation has been misunderstood for centuries. People are told they must visualize relentlessly, repeat affirmations, and take endless action to create their dream life. But what if all of that was unnecessary? What if there was a way to attract everything you desire without struggle? This audiobook reveals a hidden secret known only to the 1%, the power of zero-effort manifestation. This is not about forcing outcomes. It's not about thinking positively all the time. Instead, it's about aligning with a universal flow where things manifest naturally without resistance. The truth is, effort blocks manifestation. The more you chase, the more things run away. But when you master the art of effortless creation, reality bends in your favor. Abundance, love, success. Everything comes to you with ease. Are you ready to leave behind the struggle and unlock a life where your desires flow to you with ease? If so, it's time to step into your true power. Type, "I am ready" in the comments and begin your effortless journey. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Join the 1% who understand the secrets of manifestation and embrace their limitless potential. Chapter 1. The Laws that Govern Effortless Manifestation. The universe operates through unseen laws, just as the physical world follows gravity and motion. Manifestation is not about forcing reality to conform to your will, but about understanding and aligning with these fundamental principles. When you grasp how these laws function, effort becomes unnecessary. The process of manifestation happens automatically, like a river naturally flowing to the ocean. Struggling against these laws is like swimming upstream. It creates resistance and delays your desires. The moment you stop forcing, the current carries you effortlessly. One of the most misunderstood truths in manifestation is the law of reverse effort. This law states that the harder you try to manifest something, the further it moves away. This might seem counterintuitive, but it is deeply rooted in how the mind and energy work. The moment you try, you acknowledge lack. When you strive for something, you reinforce the idea that you don't have it. Think about moments in life when things seem to happen effortlessly. Meeting the right person, finding an opportunity, or having something work out without planning. These situations arose when you were not desperate for them. The same principle applies to all manifestations. When you stop grasping, you allow what you desire to flow naturally into your life. The law of non-resistance builds on this understanding. Resistance is the energetic force that blocks manifestation. Many people believe that to create change, they must fight their current reality, but fighting against something only strengthens it. If you are trying to push away financial struggle, you are focusing on financial struggle. If you resist loneliness, you are reinforcing loneliness. Non-resistance is not about ignoring reality, but about allowing it to exist without emotional friction. The moment you stop resisting, reality adjusts. When you accept the present moment as it is, you create space for transformation. Consider how water flows around obstacles instead of fighting against them. Non-resistance allows you to move through life in the same way, effortlessly navigating challenges instead of being stuck in them. Beyond conscious effort, there is the law of automatic creation, which explains why some manifestations happen without any intention. Your subconscious mind is always creating, whether you are aware of it or not. This is why patterns repeat in people's lives. Some always struggle with relationships, others attract financial abundance without trying. It is not about luck. It is about deep subconscious programming. Your external world is a mirror of the patterns running beneath your conscious awareness. When a person continuously experiences the same struggles or successes, it is not because of effort. It is because their subconscious is operating in alignment with those realities. This law reveals that manifestation is not something you do, but something that is always happening. The key is to recognize what is already being created automatically and understand that reality is shaped by deep-seated internal patterns, not momentary efforts. The law of synchronicity is another force that governs effortless manifestation. When you align with the flow of life, things fall into place without struggle. Synchronicity is the appearance of meaningful coincidences, meeting the right person at the right time, receiving unexpected opportunities, or coming across information that perfectly answers your questions. These are not random events, but signs of alignment. When people struggle to manifest, it is often because they are trying to control how things happen instead of allowing the natural order to unfold. The more you let go of the need to force outcomes, the more you experience synchronistic events guiding you in the right direction. The universe is always communicating, and when you pay attention, you begin to see the patterns revealing themselves effortlessly. The key to experiencing synchronicity is to allow life to flow rather than constantly trying to predict or control the process. Finally, there is the law of instant completion, which is the most powerful realization in effortless manifestation. This law states that when you assume something is already yours, reality reshapes itself to match your assumption. It is not about waiting for proof. It is about knowing it is already done. Many people operate under the belief that their desires are in the future, creating an energetic distance between them and their manifestations. But, in reality, everything already exists in a completed state. The moment you fully accept this, your external reality shifts to reflect it. This is why some people seem to have things happen instantly, while others wait for years. The difference is not effort, but the level of certainty. When you deeply accept that something is already complete, reality has no choice but to mirror that assumption. Each of these laws operates in perfect harmony, creating a structure where effort is not necessary. Manifestation is not about forcing reality to change, but about understanding how reality already functions. The more you align with these laws, the less effort is needed. This is not because you are trying to do something differently, but because you recognize that reality is always responding to these principles, whether you realize it or not. Chapter 2. The unseen role of silence in manifestation. Silence is one of the most overlooked yet powerful forces in manifestation. In a world where people are constantly told to speak their desires, affirm their intentions, and vocalize their dreams, the true power of silence remains hidden from most. But reality does not respond to words. It responds to energy. The deepest transformations occur not through speaking, but through silent knowing. This is because silence removes interference, allowing manifestation to unfold effortlessly. It is within silence that true alignment takes place, where energy organizes itself in ways that cannot be controlled through words or actions. When you stop speaking about what you want and instead hold an unshakable knowing within, the external world conforms to that state. Words have a tendency to scatter energy. Every time you verbalize a desire, you externalize it. You place it outside of yourself. The more you talk about what you want, the more you reinforce that it is not yet present. When someone constantly speaks about their goals, they are unknowingly telling the universe that these things are still separate from them. This creates a state of waiting, a gap between where they are and where they want to be. But silence collapses that gap. Silence is not just the absence of words, it is the presence of certainty. When you internally accept something as already true, without needing to speak about it, it integrates into your reality much faster. Silence signals completion, while words often signal lack. Inner stillness is the true accelerator of manifestation. When the mind is quiet, there is no resistance, no counteracting force disrupting the natural process. Manifestation is not about convincing the universe through repetition or declarations. It is about becoming internally aligned with what you desire. Most people unknowingly delay their manifestations by overthinking, over-explaining, and analyzing their desires. The more the mind engages in discussion, the more it creates doubt. True power comes when the mind is silent, allowing a deeper intelligence to take over. Just as a calm lake reflects an image perfectly, a still mind reflects reality in its purest form. The moment you stop interfering with the process by analyzing, explaining, or questioning, the manifestation moves toward you naturally. Talking about your desires too much not only delays them, but weakens your energy. When you constantly share your intentions, you spread that energy outward instead of concentrating it inward. This is why people who frequently discuss their dreams often struggle to bring them to life. They believe that talking about something strengthens it, but in reality, it disperses the energy needed to make it solid. Silence contains power because it holds energy in place. Think of a seed planted in the soil. If you keep digging it up to check its progress, it will never grow properly. But if you leave it undisturbed, nature takes over, and it grows effortlessly. The same applies to manifestation. Speaking too much about a desire is like pulling up the roots before they have had a chance to anchor. There is a profound method that operates through silence alone. The silent knowing. Silent knowing is not about hoping, wishing, or even affirming. It is about mentally arriving at the destination without the need to prove or express anything. When you hold an unshakable knowing that something is already yours, reality has no choice but to reflect it. This is not the same as believing or hoping. Those states still carry an element of uncertainty. Silent knowing is absolute. It does not seek validation, does not require external confirmation, and does not waver. Those who manifest effortlessly do not feel the need to declare their desires. They simply carry the presence of fulfillment within them. People who embody silent knowing move through the world differently. They do not explain, justify, or seek approval for their manifestations. They do not need to announce what they are creating because they already live as if it is done. Their energy speaks for them. Others can feel it without words being spoken. This is why certain individuals seem to attract opportunities effortlessly. They do not chase, they do not seek validation, and they do not explain their path to others. Their quiet certainty becomes a gravitational force. When you operate from silent knowing, people, opportunities, and circumstances arrange themselves around you without effort. The external world mirrors the internal state. And when the internal state is one of silent fulfillment, manifestation happens as a natural consequence. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the space where true creation happens. When you step into silence, you step into power. Words, explanations, and affirmations can only take you so far, but silence carries an authority that is absolute. The more you embrace silence, the faster manifestation occurs, not because you are forcing it, but because you are no longer standing in the way. Chapter 3. The effortless power of instant choices. Most people approach manifestation with a mindset of wanting, hoping, or wishing. They believe that if they desire something enough, the universe will eventually respond. But desire alone does not create reality. Decision does. The moment you shift from wanting something to choosing it, everything changes. Choosing carries an authority that wanting does not. When you simply want, you acknowledge a lack. When you choose, you claim ownership. Reality responds not to vague desires, but to firm, non-negotiable choices. The power lies in the certainty of decision. Imagine standing in front of two doors. One leads to the reality you desire, and the other keeps you where you are. Wanting to enter the door does nothing. Hoping that it will open someday keeps you waiting. But the moment you choose to walk through, the path reveals itself. This is how reality works. It does not respond to uncertainty or hesitation. It responds to clarity. The mistake most people make is believing that wanting something is enough to bring it into existence. But wanting keeps the desire at a distance. It is like standing on one side of a river and saying, I wish I was on the other side. The wish itself does not move you. The instant you decide to be there, you take the unseen bridge that was always available. Hoping is one of the biggest delays in manifestation. Hope carries uncertainty. It says, I believe this might happen, but I'm not sure. This hesitation creates a vibration of waiting rather than receiving. The universe mirrors the energy you project. So if you are hoping, the universe continues to reflect a state where you are hoping rather than having. Hope is passive. It places power outside of you. It suggests that something external must grant your desire, rather than recognizing that you are the one shaping reality. Hope is often disguised as optimism. But true creation does not come from hoping. It comes from knowing. The moment you move from, I hope this happens, to this is happening, you shift from uncertainty to command. The phrase, I decide, carries a transformational power that few realize. Decision is not just about mentally choosing something. It is an energetic shift. It means the internal debate is over. It means you no longer entertain the possibility of not having what you desire. This clarity forces reality to adjust. Think of how the world responds to someone who is certain. If a person walks into a room with confidence, people notice. If they hesitate, people ignore them. The same principle applies to manifestation. The moment you decide something is yours, the universe takes notice. Decision eliminates resistance. Resistance exists when there is doubt or hesitation, but when you fully decide, no counterforce remains to slow things down. There is a vast difference between contemplating something and fully embodying it. Contemplation is weak because it keeps things in the realm of thought rather than reality. Many people think about their desires, analyze their possibilities, and weigh their options, but they never step into the reality of having. They remain in a loop of questioning rather than experiencing. Embodiment, on the other hand, is immediate. It means fully living in the state of already having. When you embody a choice, you do not need to think about it. You are it. Just as a tree does not need to decide to be a tree every day, your reality does not need to be constantly reconsidered. It simply is. Manifestation happens effortlessly when a choice becomes non-negotiable. This is the difference between those who manifest with ease and those who struggle. People who experience effortless results do not see their desires as possibilities. They see them as done. There is no question in their mind, no alternative outcome. They do not need to convince themselves or repeat affirmations to make it true. They simply exist in the state of having, and reality conforms. When something is non-negotiable, there is no struggle, no doubt, no effort. It just is. Reality bends to the clarity of decision. When you step into the power of instant choice, there is no need to wait, wish, or hope. There is only the certainty of what is. Chapter 4. The Power of Forgetting Your Desires. One of the most counterintuitive truths about manifestation is that the more you forget about your desires, the faster they appear. This goes against what most people believe because they are taught to focus on what they want, visualize it constantly, and remind themselves of it daily. But the very act of remembering a desire too much keeps it in a state of wanting rather than having. The reason forgetting works is simple. When you no longer think about something, you are no longer reinforcing its absence. You are no longer checking for it, wondering where it is, or doubting whether it will happen. In that state, manifestation happens effortlessly. When you constantly think about your desire, you unknowingly create resistance. Each time you check for signs or ask yourself if it's working, you are sending a signal to reality that it is not here yet. You are reinforcing the gap between you and your manifestation. Think of planting a seed in the soil. If you dig it up every day to see if it has sprouted, you disrupt its natural growth. But if you plant it and forget about it, nature takes over, and soon enough, it grows without effort. The same principle applies to manifestation. When you mentally check on a desire too often, you slow down its natural process. But when you set it and forget it, the energy moves freely, bringing the result in perfect timing. There is a hidden power in setting an intention once and letting it go. This is known as the set and forget technique. Instead of constantly thinking about what you want, you make a firm decision, then shift your focus elsewhere. This works because the subconscious mind continues working on it without interference. The subconscious is like a powerful computer running in the background. It does not need conscious reminders to do its job. Once a command is given, it processes it on its own. Many people mistakenly believe they need to keep reinforcing their desires, but this only confuses the subconscious. It's like placing an order at a restaurant. Once you've ordered, you don't need to keep reminding the waiter. You trust that your food will arrive. The same is true for manifestation. Once the subconscious receives a clear instruction, it takes care of the details. The less you interfere, the smoother the process. Overthinking is one of the biggest obstacles to manifestation. The moment the mind begins analyzing how or when something will happen, it introduces doubt and resistance. The logical mind tries to calculate every possible outcome, searching for ways to control the process. But manifestation does not follow logic. It follows energy. The more you analyze, the more you shift into a state of uncertainty. Overthinking creates unnecessary delays because it keeps the mind locked in a cycle of questioning. The best manifestations happen when there is no interference from the thinking mind. This is why many people experience spontaneous results in areas where they are not overly attached. When there is no overanalysis, things flow naturally. Some of the most powerful manifestations happen when you completely forget you even asked for them. Have you ever noticed that the things you receive most effortlessly are often the ones you are not obsessing over? This is because when you forget about a desire, you release all resistance around it. You are no longer trying to force it, check on it, or make it happen. You have unknowingly entered a state of allowing. Reality often delivers what you desire in ways you never expect, at times you least anticipate. The reason for this is simple. Without mental interference, the process unfolds smoothly. Letting reality surprise you is one of the most effortless ways to manifest. The most extraordinary manifestations are often the ones you barely remember wanting. This is because true effortless creation happens when there is no emotional attachment or desperate need for the outcome. When you forget about a desire, you are no longer placing it outside of yourself. You are unknowingly living in a state where it already exists. The less attention you give to when or how it will happen, the faster it appears. This is why manifestations that come unexpectedly feel so magical. It is not that they happened by accident. It is that they happened without resistance. When you no longer hold on to a desire, you make room for it to naturally take form in your reality. Forgetting does not mean neglecting or dismissing what you want. It simply means you release the need to keep thinking about it. Manifestation is a process that works best when left undisturbed. The less you remember your desire, the faster it can arrive. Chapter 5. The magnetic pull of self-concept manifestation does not happen because of random thoughts or occasional affirmations. It happens as a direct reflection of who you believe you are. Your self-concept is the foundation of everything you attract. People often think that changing their thoughts will change their reality, but thoughts alone are not enough. If deep down you still see yourself as someone who struggles, fails, or lacks what you desire, that identity will override any positive thinking. Reality is shaped not by fleeting thoughts, but by the core beliefs you hold about yourself. This is why two people can try the same manifestation techniques, but only one sees results. The person whose self-concept aligns with their desires will experience effortless manifestation, while the other will struggle to see any change. The subconscious mind is like a locked-in autopilot system. It operates based on the identity you have accepted as true. If you see yourself as someone who always attracts wealth, opportunities, and success, your subconscious will automatically create experiences that match that belief. But if you see yourself as someone who struggles, no amount of external effort will override that internal blueprint. This is why manifestation is not about forcing results. It's about shifting the internal identity that determines what naturally happens in your life. The subconscious does not question what you believe about yourself. It simply proves it to be true. If you unconsciously believe that things come easily to you, they will. If you believe life is difficult, that belief will manifest in ways that reinforce it. Instead of trying to force a specific outcome, the effortless approach is to shift the identity that controls all outcomes. Many people focus on individual manifestations, hoping to attract one thing at a time. But when you change your self-concept, you no longer need to get things. They come to you as a natural side effect of who you are. A person who truly sees themselves as abundant does not have to manifest money. It flows to them effortlessly. Someone who sees themselves as loved does not have to chase relationships. They experience deep connections without effort. When identity shifts, reality adjusts accordingly without resistance. Shifting into a reality where your desires already exist is not about external action. It's about internal embodiment. Most people wait for proof before they believe something is real, but reality does not work that way. The external world is a mirror of internal beliefs. The effortless way to experience change is to live as if it is already done. This does not mean pretending or forcing yourself to believe something you do not feel. It means fully accepting and embodying the version of yourself who already has what you want. If you are already successful, how would you move, think, and behave? The moment you begin living from that state rather than trying to reach it, your reality has no choice but to align. The reason certain people manifest instantly is because they carry unshakable certainty. They do not question whether their desires will come. They know. This certainty is not built on external validation or waiting for things to appear. It comes from a deep, unwavering belief in their identity. Someone who knows they are successful does not doubt it even if there is no current proof. This self-assured state of being creates an effortless pull toward the desired outcome. Reality moves in response to certainty. The less doubt, the faster the manifestation. People who just know live in a reality where their desires already exist. And because of that, they see instant results without struggle. Your world is always reflecting back the identity you hold. Change who you are at the core, and everything else will shift effortlessly. Chapter 6. How to manipulate time for faster manifestation. Time is often seen as a fixed, unchangeable force, but in reality, it is fluid. The way you perceive time determines how quickly or slowly things manifest in your life. Many people believe they must wait for their desires to unfold in a linear fashion, moving from the present moment into a distant future where their goals are finally achieved. But manifestation does not operate on a rigid timeline. The future is not something you move toward. It is something that already exists, and your perception determines how quickly you experience it. The idea that time is linear is an illusion. In truth, every possible reality already exists, and your consciousness determines which version you step into. Most people assume they are traveling through time, but in reality, they are shifting through different versions of reality based on their focus and beliefs. Imagine a massive library where every book represents a different version of your life. You are not writing your future as you go. You are selecting which book to step into. The moment you align with a particular future, it becomes your present. This is why some people experience instant results, while others wait for years. Those who collapse time understand that they are not bound by a slow unfolding process. Collapsing time means skipping the waiting period between desire and fulfillment. Most people believe that manifestation must take time because they are conditioned to think in cause and effect sequences. They believe certain steps must be taken and that results come only after a long process. But those who collapse time bypass these steps by shifting their perception. When you expect something to take years, it will. When you expect it to happen instantly, you step into the version of reality where it is already done. Your consciousness determines how long something takes, not external circumstances. This is why people who believe in slow progress often experience long delays, while those who expect quick results receive them effortlessly. The speed of manifestation is directly influenced by how you perceive time. Just as a minute can feel like an eternity or pass in the blink of an eye, the manifestation process speeds up or slows down based on your relationship with time. When you focus on how long something is taking, you stretch time and create unnecessary delays. But when you shift into a state of already having, time collapses and results appear rapidly. People who constantly check the clock, wondering when their desire will arrive, unknowingly prolong the process. Those who forget about time and immerse themselves in the state of already having shifted into the timeline where their desires exist. Parallel realities hold the secret to instant shifts. Each moment is not just a continuation of the past, it is a doorway to an entirely new reality. Every second, you have the ability to step into a different version of your life. This means that waiting is not necessary. Instead of thinking of manifestation as something that must unfold over time, understand that you are selecting a new version of reality with each thought and belief. Those who grasp this concept experience rapid transformation. They do not wait for change, they shift into it. Since multiple realities exist simultaneously, you do not need to move toward your goal. You can align with the reality where it is already true. One of the fastest ways to experience immediate results is by acting as if your manifestation has already happened. This is not about pretending or tricking yourself. It is about fully immersing in the version of reality where your desire is already a fact. When you embody the feeling of already having, you remove the time delay, because there is no longer a gap between you and your desire. Those who act as if do not wait for external validation before believing in their reality. They live as though their desire is already here, and because of that, time collapses in their favor. They are not bound by waiting periods or slow progress. They exist in a state where their desired reality is the only reality. Time is not a barrier in manifestation unless you make it one. The way you perceive time shapes your experience. By shifting your focus and stepping into the version of reality where your desires are already true, you bypass the unnecessary waiting period and experience results effortlessly. Chapter 7. The hidden power of doing the opposite manifestation often works in ways that go against conventional logic. They think that the more they push, the faster results will come. But in reality, the opposite is often true. The more you try, the more resistance you create. The harder you push toward something, the further it moves away. This is because desperation signals lack, and the universe mirrors that lack back to you. People who effortlessly manifest do not chase, force, or struggle. They allow. They understand that effort can often be a block rather than a pathway. True power comes from stepping back rather than pushing forward. One of the most counterintuitive truths about manifestation is that forgetting about your desire speeds up its arrival. This seems illogical at first. How can you get something by not thinking about it? The answer lies in the way energy works. When you constantly focus on something, you are reinforcing the fact that you do not yet have it. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy are signaling to the universe that this desire is still missing. But when you forget about it, you release that signal. You stop reinforcing the lack and allow the desire to flow in naturally. This is why many people notice that things they desperately want take forever to manifest, while things they casually wish for appear almost instantly. The less attachment, the faster the manifestation. Sometimes, moving away from your desire is the key to bringing it to you. People often assume that they must stay fixated on their goal, visualizing it daily, and keeping it in their mind at all times. But this approach often slows down manifestation because it keeps the desire in a state of not yet. Those who experience effortless manifestation often do the opposite. Instead of obsessing over what they want, they focus on something completely unrelated. They shift their attention to other aspects of life, fully engaging in the present moment. This shift in focus allows the energy of their desire to materialize without interference. It is similar to how an artist can struggle to solve a problem when thinking about it too hard, but the solution appears effortlessly when they take a break. The same principle applies to manifestation. The best results often come when you stop trying so hard. Another hidden secret to effortless manifestation is allowing discomfort instead of resisting it. Most people feel uneasy when things are uncertain. They panic when they do not see immediate results. This fear and doubt create resistance, blocking manifestation. But those who master the art of allowing discomfort experience the fastest transformations. They do not fight uncertainty, they accept it. They do not try to force clarity or control the process. Instead, they remain still and let things unfold naturally. This act of allowing creates space for desires to manifest without resistance. When you stop fearing uncertainty, you remove one of the biggest blocks to manifestation. Perhaps the most radical truth in manifestation is that doing nothing can be the most powerful action of all. People are conditioned to believe that results come from effort. They assume that if they are not constantly working toward their goal, nothing will happen. But in manifestation, action is not always required. In many cases, stepping back completely and letting the process unfold on its own leads to the fastest results. This is because action taken from a place of lack or fear only reinforces the absence of what is desired. Those who manifest effortlessly often take no action at all. They allow their desires to come to them instead of chasing after them. They trust the process and do not interfere. This level of trust creates an energetic alignment where reality shifts in their favor effortlessly. Manifestation does not always require doing more. Sometimes it requires doing the opposite of what feels logical. Letting go, shifting focus, allowing discomfort, and even doing nothing can be the most powerful techniques. The paradox of manifestation is that the less you try, the faster things come. Chapter 8, Reality as a Preset Illusion, the Ultimate Manifestation. Heck, most people believe that manifestation is about creating something from nothing, shaping reality through willpower and effort. But this belief is based on a misunderstanding of how reality actually works. Nothing is being created. Everything already exists. Every possible version of your life is already available, existing in parallel possibilities. The process of manifestation is not about forcing something into existence. It is about stepping into the version of reality where your desire is already true. When you truly grasp this, manifestation stops feeling like a struggle. You no longer see your desires as distant goals to be achieved, but as existing states you can shift into at any moment. This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of thinking of manifestation as a process that takes time, energy, or action, you begin to see it as a matter of selection. Just like choosing a program on television, you are simply tuning into a different frequency of existence. The version of reality where you are already successful, abundant, or fulfilled is not something you have to create. It is something you can choose. The mistake most people make is thinking they must build their desires from scratch. This belief creates struggle because it implies that what they want does not already exist. But those who master manifestation understand that they are not building. They are aligning. Instant shifts happen when people unknowingly step into a new version of reality without resistance. You may have experienced moments where things changed in your life effortlessly, without struggle or planning. Perhaps you met someone at the perfect time, an opportunity appeared out of nowhere, or a situation transformed overnight. These shifts did not happen because you worked for them. They happened because you unconsciously stepped into a different reality where those outcomes were already true. Some people experience rapid success, not because they are lucky or special, but because they naturally exist in a state of alignment with the reality they desire. They do not question whether things will work out. They already assume they have. This assumption places them in the timeline where their desires manifest effortlessly. Obstacles are not real. They are only perceptions. The human mind is conditioned to see barriers, limitations, and difficulties. But in truth, these are just illusions created by perspective. A challenge only exists if you believe it does. The moment you stop seeing something as an obstacle, it stops being one. Many people struggle with manifestation because they see problems where there are none. They believe that they must overcome something to reach their desires. But those who manifest effortlessly do not see obstacles. They see options. Instead of focusing on what seems to be blocking them, they simply step into the version of reality where the challenge does not exist. This is why some people succeed easily, while others struggle. It is not because they work harder or have better circumstances. It is because they perceive reality differently. The most powerful shift in manifestation is realizing that you are the observer, not the controller. People often try to control every detail of their manifestation, micromanaging outcomes, and worrying about whether things are happening correctly. But reality is not something you need to control. It is something you need to witness. The moment you let go of control and shift into observation, everything aligns perfectly on its own. This is because reality flows effortlessly when it is not being forced. Imagine trying to control the movement of a river by grabbing the water. The more you try to hold it, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you step back and let it flow, it moves exactly as it should. Manifestation works the same way. Those who constantly check, worry, and interfere with the process create resistance. But those who step back and observe allow reality to unfold perfectly, without effort. Reality is not something to be built or fought for. It is something to be stepped into. When you understand that everything you desire already exists and that you do not need to create it, manifestation becomes effortless. There is no need to struggle, push, or force anything. The only requirement is to align with the version of reality where your desire is already true. Obstacles disappear, time collapses, and shifts happen instantly when you stop trying to control reality and simply observe. Bonus chapter: The Hidden Manifestation. Power of Emptiness. Most people believe that manifestation requires constant mental activity, affirmations, visualization, or an unshakable belief in a specific outcome. They assume they must fill their minds with intentions and effort, always focusing on their desires. But there is a secret power that few understand: emptiness. True creation happens not when the mind is filled with effort, but when it is open, clear, and spacious. Emptiness is the silent force that allows manifestation to occur without struggle. Emptiness is not the absence of desire. It is the absence of resistance. When the mind is crowded with expectations, worries, and the need for things to happen in a specific way, it creates friction. This friction slows down the manifestation process, just like a river filled with debris cannot flow smoothly. But when the mind is empty, it becomes a clear pathway for reality to move effortlessly. People who experience rapid manifestation often do not obsess over their desires. They are not constantly thinking about their dreams or working hard to believe in them. Instead, they exist in a state of openness. They allow things to flow without interference, and as a result, their manifestations happen with ease. Emptiness is the space where new realities can emerge. Just as a cup must be empty before it can be filled, your reality must have space for something new to arrive. Many people struggle to manifest because their minds are already full of doubts, fears, past failures, and attachments to specific outcomes. They try to force their desires into an already crowded space. But true manifestation happens when there is room for something new. When the mind is still and open, it creates a vacuum, and the universe naturally fills that vacuum with what is needed. This is why inspiration often comes in moments of stillness. When you are not trying to think of an idea, it suddenly appears. The same principle applies to manifestation. When you stop filling the space with effort, what you want flows in effortlessly. Letting go of mental clutter is one of the fastest ways to unlock the power of emptiness. Clutter is not just physical. It exists in thoughts, emotions, and energy. People carry unnecessary mental baggage, old beliefs that no longer serve them, worries about the future, and attachments to things they think they need. But manifestation does not work when the mind is cluttered. Just as a cluttered room feels chaotic and overwhelming, a cluttered mind creates confusion in the manifestation process. Those who experience effortless manifestation often have a habit of mental decluttering. They do not hold on to unnecessary thoughts. They do not dwell on the past or overanalyze the future. Instead, they keep their minds clear and open, allowing reality to shape itself without interference. One of the greatest secrets of emptiness is that it allows you to receive instead of chase. Most people approach manifestation with an energy of pursuit. They are always reaching, grasping, and trying to get what they want. But this chasing energy creates resistance. It signals to the universe that what they desire is separate from them. But those who master emptiness do not chase, they allow. They let go of the need to force things to happen. They trust that what is meant for them will naturally arrive. This shift from chasing to receiving is one of the most powerful shifts in manifestation. When you stop reaching for something and instead make space for it, it comes effortlessly. Emptiness is not nothingness. It is potential. It is the space where all possibilities exist. People often fear emptiness because they associate it with lack, boredom, or uncertainty. But in truth, emptiness is pure creation. It is the source of everything. When you embrace the power of emptiness, you no longer need to struggle or force outcomes. You become an open channel for manifestation, allowing reality to unfold with perfect ease. Conclusion: manifestation is not about struggle, effort, or waiting. It is about alignment. You have learned that the key to zero-effort manifestation lies in understanding universal laws, embracing silence, making instant decisions, letting go, shaping your identity, bending time, doing the opposite of what feels logical, and recognizing reality as a preset illusion. Each segment has revealed a different layer of this truth, showing that what you desire is already available. You simply need to step into it. There is no force needed, no obstacles to overcome, and no limits except the ones created by your perception. The universe responds effortlessly when you align with the reality you choose. Congratulations! You have completed this powerful audiobook, and now the real shift begins. If this message resonated with you, it means something inside you has already started to shift. Now it's your turn to activate this power. If you like this video, you affirm that effortless manifestation is real for you. If you share it, you send this energy into the world, strengthening your own alignment. And if you subscribe, you step into a higher reality where these secrets become second nature. Everything is already happening. Now make it happen for you. Like, share, and subscribe to claim your power.